Good evening. So, we're sitting in the car waiting on the dog park to be unoccupied. Currently, there are two dogs. I don't think he can handle that type of socialization. We're trying, he just barely got people friendly. Not that he was like biting people or anything, but we were at a point now where, we're not barking at every human we see, but, we're still working on the other dog part. So, yeah, he's back here losing his shit. I wish they would hurry the fuck up because I've been sitting here for a minute. I'm very persistent. So, it is what it is. If Bober wants to use the dog park, then we're just going to have to wait. Plus, I've been sitting here, so we're going to fucking wait. Well, anyways, last part of my week was very emotional. Um, really don't want to get into details of it. But yeah, so there's that. But on another note, something I realized, just as the days were going on just recently, and I'm just like, okay. I really wanted to take, just some time to myself. Um, just socially, period is the word. Socially is the word. Um, I just needed to go within and just one of the reasons, I was just in a reflective mode. I was happy. Um, just thinking of the things that, I want to do moving forward now that my life has shifted, a part of my life has shifted or changed or whatever. Um, I did express to where concern was coming from, but, even then, but whatever. Um, but now I have a different level of peace in life. Previously, when I thought I had peace, when I was declaring, okay, I have peace, when, okay, when I had those moments, and it would be like not too long after that, it was like, oh, okay. So it was like, what? Okay, bad. Chaos. And thinking back on, and again, like I said, I was the person that I felt I needed to be in the time that, I did, what I did. And, today I felt a bit mortified, but I am who I am. I'm going to say what I want to say, how I need to say it, and, and keep it moving. And then if I look back and it's like, damn, then shit, it's damn shit, you know? But it needed to happen. I needed to express myself. I did. I moved on. I'm looking back. And then I'm moving forward. But I realized that the very thing, and they say it all the time, the very thing that you hold on to is the one thing, hold on tight. It's the thing that you may need to let go of. And I guess that needed to happen. I mean, I didn't give all, did I give all detail? I don't know if I gave all detail or not. I don't know. But, I just had to go ahead and put it to rest. Just realize that, everyone or the situation, as much as you want to try to play your part in the best way possible with the best intentions, that thing or that person, that situation could be the very thing that could be blocking you from your fucking blessings, from, you know, whatever, a blessing, a goal, you know, just. And I kept, because my thing was, you know, I looked at it as, okay, it was a rubber band. It may stretch, and then it retracts. And I was like, you know, we're this rubber band. You know, we may stretch, we may bend, we may twist, but we always retract. You know, with the mentality of, you know, this could never break because of whatever, just history, because of history. Whether that was pleasant history, difficult history, whatever. But the rubber band got so warped. And so it was time to just, it was time to stop and realize that it was time to just let this go, let this die, just put it to rest. And so once I did that, I had my peace, I had my quiet, something, you know, I felt each day, it just, something just different every single day. And now I can truly, honestly say that I feel that I have the peace that I want. I have the, just the, whatever I need for myself in this time, I honestly, truly feel like I got it. And, you know, I just pray for, you know, protection from anything that's trying to come against it. I don't have it in me to just be upset and angry and, you know, just talking, you know, just negatively. And I'm quiet. And I feel like I'm in a quiet before the storm, and it makes me a little uneasy because it's something else in my, it's something else that's changing in my life. And, you know, I don't, like I said, I don't really want to go into detail with it, but yeah, so, but I'm doing okay. You know, I'm grateful for my friends. They came over Friday, and one of them discovered my singing bowls. And she was like, well, can you do it? I was like, here, you can do it. I was showing her how to do it. And when she, you know, she did, you know, she hit the sound bowl and singing bowl, and she was bringing the, I don't know what you call them things, a mallet around. And she was like, she felt like a calm in her spirit. I'm just like, wow. And then so my other friend did it too. And it was like, after that, we sat down, we talked, and we just had like a moment. And I'm just like, wow, like, I need to do more of this, you know, just a little interaction like that with one of my singing bowls. And I'm just like, this is the things that I want to be doing. Like, I want to be able to expose people to, you know, things like that, you know. And it can just start with my friends. You know, we made a decision to, you know, find some time to, you know, make time or whatever, to, come together and just have like a singing bowl session. I don't know. I got to come up with how I want to do it, and, just go from there. I really felt like, that was a good thing for them just based on her reaction and what she said. And I thought it was really cool. So, things things will happen in their due time. So, but, I thought that was pretty cool. Um, I made a new friend last week. Was that last week? A new friend last week. And since then, like, areas of my life, quality of my life, even with, my two friends, adding, this new person, in a time that, I just want to, just, what did I use instead of isolate? But, just have time for myself. And I'm so grateful for my new friends in my life. Like, I can truly, honestly call all three of these people my friends. I told them what was going on, and they understood, like, yeah, we get it. I go through it. And, we sat down and had a moment. Um, my other new friend, just genuine care and, oh, what's the word? Just attentiveness. Like, it's like, I feel like your friends are supposed to be, even though we're all different on way, like, your friends are supposed to be a reflection of who you are. And I truly, honestly feel like all three of them, in their own way, are reflections of me. And I'm so grateful for all of them. Okay, well, it's almost freaking 7 o'clock, and they still have not come about this dang dog park. So I think what I'm going to have to do is go on the other side of the dog park, and then Bo Bear's just going to have to raise fucking hell. I'm so sorry, Bo Bear. I'm so sorry. All right, y'all, let me go.